Hi, everybody was joined. Say that you can say like I am sorry. So everybody, everyone, right? Rashmit, good morning. Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead. Meanwhile, people who have introduced themselves can also get into conversation. You may just open a question or ask for something interesting or say something interesting. What made? Why are you interested in Metaverse or Web3? Whatever it. Priyanshu, good morning. Abhishek, good morning. So today we are living in a very exciting times because so many technologies are coming and hit us. Okay, and one of the important technology which is sweeping us is Web3, and Web3 itself has a couple of components including like blockchain, resulting decentralization, 3D graphics. Sahil Gupta, yeah, welcome. Okay, and other technologies. So it's good that your institution has decided to hold this session, and I should thank Dr. Sangeeta also for that. Akshat, good morning. Kindly get your classmates on board because we are expecting 100, about 100 students over here. And actually, you get a threefold advantage today or a benefit. One is you learn something about Metaverse. You'll also learn about Creator Club, which is innovation for learners. And also, you'll get, go home with some credited learn tokens, which you can use it later. Swayam, good morning. Okay.
Sir, shall we start now? Or we'll wait for
Yeah.
we'll start.
Currently, we are the only 36 have joined session, madam.
36 have joined. Okay, we'll wait for two
Yeah.
more minutes because the official time that we have told is
We
10:30.
can. My guess is actually we can wait until 10:35
Okay,
because we will just. Keep reminding them, and then 10:35 sharp will start.
okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Because the new platform, maybe they are finding something problem and all.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Prasad, good morning. Kindly ask your classmates. Lead, good morning. Okay. Tejas, good morning. 59. All along this session, actually, you can keep posting questions, queries, or interesting facts, or anything that you know want to know about either Creator Club platform or Metaverse. Okay, we will help you. We will share whatever that we know, and have been using this for quite some time, nearly 3 months, and everybody actually has done. And everybody actually on your screen, you've seen something called follow button down there. You can click on that follow so that you will get a notification from Creator Club regarding upcoming sessions and all. I know many of you are actually new to this, and it's my job to tell you about that one. Atharva, good morning. Okay. So everybody actually go your screen, just on the right side, actually you see follow button. Kindly click on that follow button because that will help you to Creator Club to keep you updated about anything that was going to happen. Okay, upcoming sessions, either Metaverse or Web3 and others. So kindly do that. Tanvi, good morning. Yeah, great. Om, again, good morning, everybody. Shreyas. So we are halfway through, 55 people have joined. We want it to be 100 because that is an estimated or a promised number from Professor. Kushi Bajaj. Good morning. We are all very lucky today because we are introducing not only to Metaverse but also a new platform which is going to attract your attention and also participation in the days to come. Janami, good morning. Kshitish, yes. Atharv and Janvi, are you related? You have a same surname? Janvi Khanvilkar and Atharv Khanvilkar.
No, no,
Are
sir.
you
They not related, but they have the same surname.
you have just noticed? Okay.
Yeah.
Krishan. Okay. So about 70 have joined, Professor. Another 2 minutes we will start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 10:35 we'll go live and we'll start the session, sir.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, sir, we'll start.
Yes, proceed.
Yes, yes. So we'll start the session, and I request the coordinator for this session to make sure that the students who have left do join uh, soon in next 5 to 10 minutes. Let all the other students join. Okay, so I'll officially start this session. So, good morning and a warm welcome to Professor Ravindra Deskitop sir and all the students. I'll take this forum to introduce sir and introduce our club, which we have formed under AI and DS department. So, Vivekanand Education Society's Institute of Technologies have started with a new course in Bachelor's of Engineering named Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Under this department, AI and DS, we have started with a AI Collision Club, and the aim of this club is to conduct various sessions, seminars, webinars, certification program through NVIDIA, hackathons, quizzes, technical quizzes, all related to AI and its peer field. So that is the whole motive behind starting this club, so that the student can get most of the technological advancements that are happening in the field of AI, and they can also get certification. So with this aim, we are having our first expert session on Metaverse, a realistic virtual world by Professor Ravindra Deskitop. Professor Ravindra Deskitop is an associate professor at the SDM College of Engineering and Technology in Dharwad, Karnataka. Professor has been one of the driving force behind cloud computing way back when it started to pick up pace in early 2000. So sir was one of the driving force for cloud computing and has authored books and has a great contribution to that field. Sir is also working and is chairing session reviewing paper at various international conference of IEEE, ACM, elsewhere, etc. Now, Professor Ravindra is actively involved in working with Metaverse and framing the major minor course for Metaverse and its technological advancement which are happening. Now, Metaverse is a very interesting, we can say, realistic virtual world, which we don't know whether it would be there in a reality or we will be inching closer to it, because it is going to take internet, and it's a complete shift in the way internet would now work, because sir will take you to the session and will tell you how with Metaverse we plan to use internet with a different dimension. So that's the idea for this session. And in this session, sir will also try to introduce us with what are the project ideas and what are the technologies which are involved with Metaverse, and what is its paradigm and where do we lie as of now. And would also share with us, as I've told you, interesting project ideas also. Sir will also introduce some sort of theater club facilities to us, so that if you are interested in attending some of the sessions, students are free to do that. And also sir is now also taking session on blockchain and its connection with Metaverse and stuff like that. So sir is an expert in this field, and we really want to get the most from today's session, sir. Looking forward to you. Very warm welcome, sir. I take this opportunity and to welcome you to our college and our department. So over to you, sir, and we look forward to a very interesting session on Metaverse and its technology advancement.
Thank you, Professor Sangeeta, and it's great to be here. And as you said that you are conducting, conducting AI and DS, Creator platform is one of the best example for you to understand AI and data structure, because here every data that is generated, every participant, that activity is actually collected and used and analyzed for many of the things. Okay, so it's very, lucky and fortunate you to be here. And also thank you very much for a very generous introduction. And I can see about 70 people have joined, and we will just start the session. So my session is all about Metaverse, but then I also will be talking about the platform that it is there, because I expect that for the students which are joining here and participating in the next 20 to 30 years of your life, learning becomes an integral part. And we have been told that lifelong learning is something which is going to be a reality. And then the Creator Club actually will become your lifelong companion in your learning. So I will just move on to my presentation slides, and I will be watching this chat session. Anybody, everybody who was interested to ask any specific question can ask, and I'll be toggling between my presentation and this chat session to follow up with the questions. Okay, let me start with this. So today I'm actually presenting a session on Metaverse, realistic virtual world. And thanks Vivekananda Education Society and Professor Sangeeta for giving this chance to me. Okay, so let me start with my session. Okay, so this I'll spend a few minutes on about this session. So this online session is done on Creator Club. So Creator Club is a kind of an online platform, also called live streaming platform, which connects learners and content creators, so that actually they can come together and learn. The creator can actually share his information, whatever it is, whether it's arts, history, technology, or politics, or even game, and they come together. So the beauty of this actually is a unique innovation to engage learner. So today, what happens actually, we all experience, both as a teacher and a student, getting into classroom is a big challenge, and once you get in, also getting engaged in learning process is a big challenge. This happens because the feedback mechanisms are not very clear. Because suppose you are learning something in January, probably examination will be in the month of April or May, so you don't really get interested in that. So the active feedback is actually missing in learning system today. And to overcome this, Creative Club has something a different thing. So what they do actually is they innovate, engage learner in the learning process and reward her with learn tokens, which is a kind of both certification for your attendance and also for the active involvement. For participation and active involvement, learner will get one learn token. This is a kind of a reward that you will get like a loyalty token for every 1 minute of participation, and two learn tokens for asking questions. That means you are not only attending, it's not just your body is there in the class, you are also active, your mind is also there. So try to earn as much as possible today, so that actually you can start your Creators Club journey. Okay. So the session requirement, join the session, you already done that, click on follow, probably you have done that. Each student presents a monitor, each student presence is monitored all through the session. That means if the session goes for 45 minutes, we will be knowing that what you did in the 45-minute session in this, okay? And attendance report can be produced and probably will be generated and will be shared with your faculty, okay? And just to look at your status, probably you can see this screen on this, right on the top, there is something called learn and earn button. Just click on that. Once you click on that, actually you will see certain something like this. So now this is at the beginning of the session. You will probably see 0 or something like that, and that's also good enough. Okay. So hope everybody has tried this. Okay. Please try this one. Go to your screen. Okay, and click on learn and earn at the top. Then that is okay. Meanwhile, there is one already a question like Subrato, sir, is there any certain criteria to host events and talks or creator from, or it can be done by anyone? Actually, it can be done by anyone. For example, you can see at the top of your screen, become a streamer, find out how. So just click on that, and somebody in the company will actually help you. So probably you have seen that you have earned, maybe some people have earned 2 because they have joined earlier, some people have earned 4 much earlier, but today at the beginning actually you see only 70. I mean, sorry, you will actually see 0, but as the session progresses, you can actually understand how it works and how actually it monitors and help you to do that. Hope everybody has seen this, and we will move on to the session now. Okay. So welcome to my session on Metaverse. Today's session I'll be talking about importance of the Metaverse, that why are we interested in Metaverse and how it's going to change our life, and why it is important. For example, there are many technologies that happened since long days, for example, printing press or internet or telephone or other things like that. They all happened, and now they are all changed the face of our life. Now, Metaverse also falls in that category. 10 years from down from today, Metaverse would have actually occupied 60 to 70% of our life. Then we will ask question, how do we create Metaverse? Because we know it's important. Then once we create, how do we enter that? See, unlike other technologies today, Metaverse will actually create a new world order for you. It's virtual and you need to enter there. And there are different techniques, including VR, AR, and all. Then what is the potential of the metaverse? That means now that if I want interested and I have created the metaverse, what is that I can do? So companies like Microsoft, they are conducting their meetings over there. There are companies which are playing games over there. So there is unlimited possibilities within this metaverse, and that I will list. Then what you can do in the metaverse, that is now that you enter metaverse as an individual, what is that you can? A student can learn something in a very practical in an immersive version. Or if you are an employee or you can participate in a meeting. Okay. Then we also touch upon Metaverse student project. Now that I know that most of you, I mean, all of you are actually students, and I'm addressing a college gathering. Student project is also interesting aspect because maybe that's the where actually you start your Metaverse journey. And beyond that, also, I will be talking about career avenues. That in case you decide that Metaverse is good enough and I have to start, then there are career avenues also. For example, Metaverse technology is a combination of many things. Then we can go for a question, answer, and conclusion. Okay. So the objective of this presentation is actually to creating awareness about metaverse phenomenon and its implication. So if in case somebody is there in this group who doesn't know anything about metaverse, this session will create an awareness. That means you should be knowing about that. And secondly, you should notice that metaverse is a phenomenon. Phenomenon is something which happens whether you know it or not, like say global warming or inflation and all. Okay. So whether you like it or not, a global warming in China will cause rains in India. Similarly, some global warming aspects in India will cause some problems in Pakistan. Okay, so metaverse is like that. So you cannot ignore it because today or tomorrow it's going to hit you. Okay, and second thing I know is actually if you already know something about metaverse and all, then you should start appreciating for its game-changing potential. So like internet, like mobile, like cloud computing, it is going to change the very face of our society in terms of whatever we do. Especially we, the professional student people, student professionals and all, we will be certainly affected by that. And thirdly, it will help you to acquire certain skills, both conceptual and practical. So first thing, you will know what metaverse is. Then you appreciate its value and its value proposition. And finally, you will acquire certain basic conceptual skills. Okay. So the purpose again is to impress upon the audience. What I'm telling you is actually now we think that there are certain technologies which are not going to affect us. For example, nuclear technology or space technology. They are there, they are needed, they are required, but then the whole population will not be affected by that. But here actually I will tell you, it is not an isolated technology like nuclear technology or like gynecology and all. Okay, so it is not only for the gamers. Most people think that metaverse is gaming and that is where it starts and ends. No, metaverse actually gaming is an example of that. It's like see on a mobile phone actually when smartphones were introduced back in 2007, people that mobile can only be used for making calls. But today, no, we use more apps on mobile than actually making calls. So that way, people should not mistake it that metaverse is only for gamers. It is for everybody, and it's a phenomenon affecting all of us. That means if you are a student, if you are an employee, if you are a government, it's already affecting, and more importantly, it's benefiting us. That means because of metaverse is there, it is creating a new economy, a new creator economy, new platforms for learning, and all those things. Okay, that is the two intentions that I have my presentation. Okay, now let me get back into the details of my presentation. Okay, and beyond that, are there any questions that I can see here? No. Okay. Now then I can move on. Okay. So the first and foremost difference between the internet and metaverse is like internet is today is linear. What it actually means that probably you are currently doing that. I'm presenting my sessions in Harvard somewhere, and actually I am looking at my screen. And now you are probably looking at your mobile screen or say your desktop screen. So that means today, at presently, something is look at. Metaverse, sorry, internet is something you look at. That means you don't get enter. All that you can do is browse and search and see. And there are only two feelings that you can, two activities that you can do. I can either you can read something on the screen, or maybe with speaker you can listen to something or you hear something. But we have a couple of other sensors also. For example, touch is there, smell is there. Okay, all those things. That is not allowed in current internet because it is 2D. Okay. But metaverse, on the other hand, actually is a version of the internet which we can get inside it. That means we can enter the internet, and once we enter, then you know you can walk there, you can click there, you can play game and all. So this upgrading from the 2D internet to 3D internet is all about meta. So because the internet is linear today, I cannot get inter. But once I do it spatial, the metaverse is a spatial structure. That means it has three dimensions: length, breadth, and depth. So once there is a depth, you can enter there, and it has three dimensions. This is in contrast to the previous current one, where actually linear in 2D. Okay. So how do you start understanding metaverse? Now, if you upgrade current internet, which is 2D to 3D, then actually it becomes metaverse. And because it becomes metaverse, it is spatial. So once there is a space, then you can get there and you start having these additional feelings like touch, smell, and other activities. Okay. So I should thank the Professor Sangeeta because actually she suggested my title, Realistic Virtual World. So most people think that metaverse is virtual and it is virtual. But the thing is, the efforts which are virtual are giving real-time results. For example, look at this. Here is an example of a cow which is using virtual reality and actually increasing its gain, I mean its productivity. Okay. So now look at one example of VR heads being used to optimizing business comes from a farmer. He's a farmer and he has a cattle. Okay. And what he has done is actually, now look at this video. I can explain you. Here actually you can see a group of cows eating a raw, I mean, a dry grass. So what this fellow has done actually, he has put a video, I mean, a VR headset to that one, and it gives an impression that it is actually eating a green grass. And that has actually increased, look, the product from 22 liters to 27 liters. Kindly see this for a minute and then we'll move on. Here is a point we should observe. Okay, look at this. So now he is using a VR headset and which creates an impression that it is eating a green grass.
Tane sağır ineğimiz var. Sürü ortalaması 22 litre. Yalnız bu iki tane hayvanımızda da süt miktarını 27 litreye kadar çıkardık ve bunu da sanal gerçeklik gözlüğüyle yapabildik. Kendisini işte uçsuz bucaksız çimlerdeymiş gibi hissi veriyor. Duygusal anlamda iyi olmasını sağlıyor. Duygusal anlamda da iyi olunca da süte yansıtıyor. Kalitesini, miktarını arttırıyor.
So look at this.
Görmeden de yiyebiliyoruz.
Okay. Okay, now this is an example which actually shows you that you can create, okay, you can create a world, a virtual world, but the results are real. So that's what they madam means by realistic virtual world. World is virtual, okay, efforts are virtual, but results are real. So in place of getting 22 liters of milk, the cow is actually giving 27 liters because it has been put into in metaverse environment using that VR, that virtual reality headsets. Okay, and this is true of everything that we are going to do. For example, suppose you are a geography student and you have not seen Sahara Desert, I can create a metaverse which I can take you there and you actually feel that you are in the Sahara Desert. Or I can take you to Kedarnath and show you the temple. Okay, that's the beauty of metaverse. Okay. Okay, any question at this point of time? Okay. Okay. There are no questions. I will just move on. Okay, so the summary is this: metaverse is a new world, a new virtual world, but the results, the efforts that you put in those virtual world are results, which are real. Okay. So now let me talk about the nature of the metaverse. Metaverse is an ecosystem. Ecosystem like an internet. There are computers, there are networks, there are databases and other things. Okay. Current internet is 2D environment. Think like a Zoom meet or a Google meet or even this meet that we are doing. We are separated by a distance. We use a browser as an interface and we now browse and search. Okay. But we feel the distance. Say I'm in Dharwad, Karnataka, and maybe you are in Mumbai somewhere in some suburb. Okay. But the distance is felt. Okay. Metaverse is the upgrade where actually you will be in a 3D internet, then actually you can walk and discover each other. That means suppose I'm conducting this session in a metaverse, then I and you will be in the same room, in a virtual room where we can actually talk to each other, we can shake hands with each other, and we can ask your names and other things. So that transformation from the 2D internet to a 3D is all about the metaverse. So one of the fundamental value proposition of the metaverse is actually experience. Today in the internet, today we don't have experience. Of course, we can read, that's an experience. We can listen to music, that's an experience. But what we can't do is something other things like sense and all. So assume that now today, if you see, if you watch a video of about say a Taj Mahal or a Rashtrapati Bhavan, all that you can see a two-dimensional, probably three-dimensional picture. But you don't see go beyond that. But suppose you are doing it in the metaverse, then actually you can feel additional things. For example, if you are visiting say Taj Mahal or Rashtrapati Bhavan in the metaverse, then actually as you walk, you can also feel the breeze or the wind which is moving in a particular direction. And if it rains there, you also get wet there. Okay, so that is the value proposition of the metaverse. So if you are a doctor, you can actually feel the patient. If you are a traveler, you can feel the breeze in a particular temperature, a particular area. If you are actually going to like Kanchenjunga or actually Mount Everest, actually you can also feel the cold. So that is exactly the value proposition which was not there in the earlier technologies. Okay. And how do you do that? You use something like your representation called avatar. Avatar is nothing, probably I will show you in the following slides, is actually your digital representation. So today in the internet, you are represented by your Gmail ID, Facebook ID, or Instagram ID. But in the metaverse, you will be represented by your avatar, which is actually your digital representation. That means whatever happens to the avatar will also happen to you in real life. That's called digital twins. Okay. And in addition to that, you can create and publish. That means you are an author. If you are a gamer, you can do that one. And all this actually happens in the virtual environment. So now let me make a small definition of that one. The metaverse is a global network of spatially organized. That means here you take this spatially. That means it has 3 dimensions where actually you can enter, walk, do activities, feel, experience, touch, smell, everything. Okay. And it will be available to all without restriction. That means just like the internet today, as long as you have internet connection data, you can just get connected, and it can use in all human endeavors. That means gaming is one example, but meetings is another example, education is another example. So you can do everything that we are doing in the current real world in the metaverse. Okay. And here is the right side of the definition. Okay. The first thing is actually experience. That means you can feel, touch, smell. You can identify yourself with a digital identity. Governance is something which is there for the bigger organization. Interoperability, that means you can move from a metaverse to another metaverse. There will be only one metaverse, but companies may build their own metaverses and get connected. But interoperability is an essential feature. Today, if you are in Facebook or Instagram, you cannot send a Gmail, an email from Gmail unless you log out and go there. But that kind of restrictions won't be there. And there is also economy. Economy is something like related to blockchain. People can trade, people can sell their services, do activities and all. Okay. So that is the small definition of a metaverse. And now we look into the, before that actually I'll see any questions, okay. There are no questions, okay. Okay, I will just move on, okay. Okay, so now what happens is the importance of metaverse is very important. Okay, it is ability to provide you a shared environment. Today, I'm going to repeat this. I'm in Dharwad and you are there. We are in a different place. But metaverse will give a shared environment. That means I and you can together somewhere. So for a company, that means that it can bring people for a meeting. For a sports, for an artist, it would mean that he can bring people to his orchestra or a musical performance. So recently, I released my book. Actually, I conducted that on the metaverse, where actually I can I went up. This is myself, and this is the publisher. We went to the metaverse and did this presentation. Okay, look at this. So I'll not show you all those things. Okay. So why metaverse is important? Because it's a next evolution. Because see, we moved from internet to web 1, from there to web 2, and now we are moving to web 3. So we need to understand this because it is all about moving with our life. Okay. So if metaverse starts working, then you can attend a class in Harvard or Puja and Kedarnath by staying at your home. You don't have to go there. Okay. If you work remotely from home, say Kashmir, but your employer office is located in New Delhi, you can participate. What essentially metaverse does is it will remove the space gap. Today we feel that means you are in Harvard, somebody is in Mumbai, but in the metaverse that distance is actually crushed. Some people say that metaverse has no physics, and it is to certain extent it is true. Okay. And there are already applications which are possible. For example, look at this. Royal London Hospital uses virtual reality to operate on patient. So the patient was actually in Tokyo and the doctors was in hospital in London, and they could enter metaverse using what we call the avatars, and they were able to conduct an operation, which is a remarkable achievement because the distance between Tokyo and London is thousands of kilometers, and now metaverse helped it to take the service of a great doctor and reach out to a patient who is needed that service in Tokyo. So that is the beauty. And this is applicable to everything. If you are a good teacher in London and if you want to learn something from him, even if staying in some remote corner of India or world, you can learn from him. So I think this is the time I should be asking, wait for your questions. Any questions so far on anything about this? I can see 80 people here, and I've just told you what this metaverse is all about and what is its value proposition. I'm just holding on here on the chat box to see if there are any questions. Okay. No. Then I will move on. Okay. See, metaverse is a technological creation. That means a couple of technologies have come together to create this wonderful world of metaverse. Okay. And the first one is actually called extended reality. So extended reality is all about creating virtual spaces. Where actually I have an augmented reality is one component, and virtual reality, which I showed you about that cow, which actually we have given a wrong impression or a false impression to cow that actually it is eating a green grass, but not because this. So since it is not true, it is called virtual reality. Then we also use blockchain because it needs an economic foundation, and we also use internet things to collect information. I told you that see, if you are visiting the say Taj Mahal or Rashtrapati Bhavan, you need to get certain data about that to share that experience. How do I tell that the wind is breezing in the metaverse? This is the reason I will put some IoT devices in and around Taj Mahal. I kept with sensors. Then I will collect that information and pass it on to the metaverse. Then artificial intelligence is used to do a lot of processing. Cloud computing is to do the data processing, and 5G so that there is no latency. So metaverse is a combination of many technologies. These are the related technologies. Okay. Now the question comes like, now that I have created metaverse, how do I access? Okay. So metaverse can be accessed from all the devices that we have. For example, it is possible to use from your general purpose computers like desktop and all. People are doing that. Smartphones, augmented reality like headset and all, virtual reality. And at higher advanced level, look at this right side. There is a technology called Haptic Gloves, which will help you to enter metaverse and also start feeling. You can touch a patient if you are a doctor, you can touch a ball if you are a player, or if you can touch the blackboard and start writing if you are a teacher. So you can access metaverse from different categories. And now there are attempts also to make it browser accessible. That means browser can also render you a 3D experience. Okay. Now look at this. Actually, now here is a patient. Okay, here is another doctor, and here is a doctor, and all of them actually are not in the physically in the same space. He is elsewhere, but using metaverse and using this haptic glass, haptic hand, they are touching each other. Okay, and they are conducting whatever that needs to be done. So now as an individual, what is that you can do? Metaverse is a shared space. That means it brings people together. Okay. Now this opens doors for many opportunities across. Okay. You can do a guided tour. That means assume that you want to go to Kedarnath and there is some family member who cannot come because he's either physically challenged or very old. Okay. Now I can create a Kedarnath travel in the metaverse and I can help you to reach out there. So how do I do that? I will create a metaverse. I will create an avatar for you or for the person who is actually handicapped or very aged. And actually I can create that experience guided to or hands off any games that you can do. So once I am able to create metaverse using the technologies which I showed you, okay, then I can do many things. I can teach you. I can shake hand with you and other things I can do. And the important thing is actually it's a shared digital space. So with this, now actually I come to some practical examples. Okay, I'll just see if there are any questions over here. I don't see. There is a good attendance. 88 people are there. Okay. Okay. Now, Metaverse is actually taking shape. As I told you, it's a phenomenon. People have started using that. Here is an example. An Indian couple got married in the Metaverse. This is the real couple on the left side. They took avatars and they got married. The reason why they did marriage because they could create avatars of people who did not even exist. That means the girl father was no more, and she wanted her father to participate in the party in the marriage. What she did actually, she created an avatar for him, and he actually participated because avatars can be moved. Okay, that's what they did. So this is an example that it can also have a kind of a social or a social activity application. Okay, and you can also entertain people, or for example if you want to show, for example it so happens that suppose you are in a place like Mumbai and all, sea is a default for you, everybody in Mumbai has seen, but what probably you have not seen is the desert. Okay, so that you have to come to Rajasthan or you go to Sahara, but now if it is expensive, in the metaverse I can create a desert for you and show you what it is. Okay, for a person in desert I can show you what is the ocean or a sea, that I can also create. And here is an important, see, sometimes if you are a player and all, it is difficult to get a coach, expensive coach, because they will cost you a lot. For example, when Vindra was getting a Olympic awards, Olympic gold medal for shooting, his coach was a European. Okay, he has to travel every alternate month to get training from him, and that was both expensive and time consuming. Now look at here, using Metaverse, actually you can create every movement of yours actually shown here. So here is a kind of a direct feedback, so that actually you can use this Metaverse world so that the whatever the game that you play, whether it's a faulty or correct, can be noticed and corrective action can be taken. So fitness in the metaverse allows you to experience a fully immersive and comprehensive exercise anywhere in the globe from comforts of your home. That means, say, assume that your brother is in America and you are here, and you can come together in metaverse, do the exercise, do the prayer, whatever that is together, and educate like never. For example, if you are studying some, I already told you, you can be shown Sahara Desert while you are still in Mumbai. Similarly, if you are learning about certain things like extinct animals, like like dinosaurs and all, that can also be created in the metaverse. Like if they touch, students can also feel that. And this is true. You can run business anywhere. I told you earlier, if you are even in Kashmir, then you are working for a company in Mumbai or New York, then actually by entering, you can participate in that. So are there any questions that I should be asking? Okay. Okay, there is one question. How do you think metaverse will affect tourism? Anmol, I can answer you. And the same question, Ram, okay. Okay, so I will tell you, Anmol. See, the value proposition of the metaverse is actually the elimination of space gap. That means today, if you want to go to Kedarnath or Everest or Taj Mahal, you have to physically, geographically go there. Okay. Now, what metaverse says that this space gap I can eliminate. How do I do that? By creating a virtual space. So, virtual space is created using these technologies, which I've already shown you. Okay. I use these technologies to create virtual space. Okay. So once I do that, what I will do is actually, once I create a virtual space, I can take you in there. How do I take? I take using avatars. Okay. So then how do I actually create that experience? I will show you. I also told you that I will this IoT devices. So what is the use of an IoT device? IoT device is nothing but sensors which will collect me information about a particular place. Okay. So now what will I do is, Mr. Anmol, so suppose assume that you want to visit, say, Mount Everest and see what happened to Tenzing. So what I can do is actually I create a metaverse and put a lot of IoT devices in and around Mount Everest, and actually I can collect all the information in terms of humidity, temperature, the ice condition and all, that I can convey you to here in the metaverse. So that means you don't have to leave your house, you can go there. Okay. So that means you can feel that. So that way it so happens that instead of making expensive tour to London, Tokyo and all, you can start experience here only. Okay. Okay. And secondly, the other one is assume that there is one devotee in your house who is not who is very aged and he cannot go to Kedar or Varanasi because of the age and physical disability. For them also, I can actually take him there and do that. Okay, so that is going to affect tourism industry. Okay, Anmol. Anmol, have I answered your question? Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Now I think shall I move? I think I can move further.
Sir, do
Not
you
only this term
uh,
actually.
hello, sir?
Sir, tell me.
Sir, do you have an option to remove the participants from the forum?
Not necessary because I could see this comments. It's okay. It's, I don't.
Okay, okay. Because I
I,
don't know, because I don't think they are from AI and DS.
no, maybe your students have shared that with somebody. It's all
Yeah,
right.
okay, okay, sir.
I don't mind. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. So that's how it is. So not only Anmol, it's not only tourism. It can affect every area where actually we have this space gap. I can take to Kedarnath in a virtual space. I can take to Mount Everest. But on the other hand, if you want a doctor to be attending for a particular patient, then I can take you to London Hospital also in a metaverse. Not only that, if you want to get educated from a Russian or American university, that time also I can do that. Today, these are all not possible because there is a space gap. That is eliminated by the metaverse. Okay, run a business. Okay. So the question people ask, will the metaverse replace the internet? Definitely yes. It's the way actually the mobile phones replaced our landline phones or Web 2 replaced our earlier internet, it will happen. But time frame we cannot say whether it's in 10 years, 20 years and all because smartphone came in 2007. Even today some people use entry mode telephone, but much of the population uses mainly smartphone. Okay. Will the metaverse replace the internet? Yes, almost yes. Okay. And will it become a mainstream? Mainstream means what mainstream is actually everybody will use that. It depends. For example, until pandemic happened, actually smartphone people were using, but only elders and adult people were using. Okay, but now due to the pandemic and from home study from home and all, every kid was forced to, or rather made to use smartphone. So maybe due to business, maybe due to some national pandemic and all, metaverse will become something of a mainstream. So then there is some criticism also on the metaverse actually feasibility and how is it possible? I think it takes time because see before Geo came into existence, internet access was a big challenge because people cannot afford the rate charged by Vodafone and others. But a company like Geo has made it accessible to all. Similarly, we hope that over a period of time, companies and commerce and business will take care and make the prices affordable, and actually it will help us to do that one. Okay. Okay. So and the reason why actually I told you metaverse becomes strong is actually the space gap. That means there is no space in the metaverse the way there is no distance in internet. Today, companies like Infosys and TCS can do a lot of business for a simple reason that there is no distance. They can get connected to a client in America in no time. Okay. Okay. So yes, yes, yeah. Here, people can take misadvantage and all, but it is our job to ensure that don't actually realize their intentions. It is possible that it can happen here. Okay, technological possibilities are all the time. Okay, but then there will be a governance. Actually, I told you, no. Maybe I'll go back to and show you that. Okay. Now look at here. There is a component of the metaverse called governance. So governance will come with all regulation rules and ideas so that actually people will be made, I mean, it will make difficult for people to fake and all, and also to ensure that if they do that, they will be put into some kind of a legal and other procedures. The possibility is not ruled out, but even the remedy is also not ruled out. Okay. Okay, before I get into the student project, I want to see any other question. Okay, okay. Alok is asking, sir, don't you think that it will affect mental state of people by remaining for a long time? The question answer is yes, because see, today one of the greatest problem that we are facing, either for a parent or a student, or a child, is actually more and more people are spending more and more time on the mobile. So now there are no connection. People don't talk to their relatives. They don't talk to parents and all. Okay, but that problem has been highlighted everywhere, right? So every parent you ask, I can't control my kid using a mobile, and they are in a different world altogether. And that's going to happen with metaverse also. But then it is not fault of the metaverse. It is not fault of the mobile, right? If a kid is using more and more mobile, it is probably fault of the. I mean, it is a lenient father who has allowed that one. Okay. So over a period of time, people will get into that and come out of that and start a very reasonable life. That is the whole point. Okay. See, because we have seen our own kids and all playing games for hours together in the internet for hours together, but over a period of time they get saturated and come out. Okay. For some people it might be an addiction, but for most of the people they will come out of it. That's the hope. Okay. Okay. Now I will move on to what we call projects. Okay. I'm including projects for a simple reason that most of you are students and you will be interested, because I don't just want to tell you the theory and get out of that. Okay. So since metaverse is a combination of many technologies like augmented reality, and blockchain products you can do. For example, mixed reality cities that you can do. That means mixed realities are where actually virtual reality combines with augmented reality. So you can do a project on London as a large resource of data. For example, even Indian government has actually called open data portal. Okay. Now you can get data pertaining to say Mumbai, Delhi and all, and you can make that kind of data to create a virtual world and that you can help people to understand the both topology and other things. So this is one project which my students are doing. Okay, this they are doing it for internal things. Okay, London has a large data sources about things as diverse as traffic, demographic, and all. Even India has this. For example, if you go to Indian portal, data.gov.in, govern.in, they have every kind of data from hospital distribution to highways to hotel segregation to music places and all. Okay, you can repeat this experiment for an Indian city or Indian town. Okay, and you can also do some kind of a crowdsourced pollution data. For example, you can pick the data because now more and more people are putting IoTs and all. You can get a temperature, humidity of a particular place from a particular location, and you can model it. So this is one probability that you can do. And social VR platforms. Today we have social media like Facebook and all, but they are 2D. But then you can actually upgrade them into what we call a social VR platforms and do that one. And already there are companies like Ubique and all, they include server extensions such as implementation of scalability algorithm. As an engineer, you can do that, are actually building social VR experience, because that combines both your artificial intelligence and data science. How do I analyze the experience and participation of people within this? That also you can take care. Okay, all those things. Okay, and here is the link which I can share you on the chat also, where you have a list of projects that you can do it for both as a project, maybe as your entrepreneurial idea, maybe as a kind of a project that you have to take as a career. Okay. And finally, I can also talk about careers. It's like, see, data, like computer science is a career, gives you a career path. This also gives you a career path. Decentralized platform development. If you start with a blockchain, which is a fundamental component, then you can start from creating currencies to smart cards, sorry, smart contracts and NFTs and all. That is one thing. Metaverse marketplace development. See, for example, when companies like Amazon came into existence, they didn't have any market of their own, because before that it was only physical market. They created their own market, and today companies like Amazon or Walmart, they have run a business with millions of dollars. So that kind of a market can also be created on the metaverse. Okay, non-fungible development and integration, making unique products in this one. Metaspace marketing, 3D space development. It could be as simple as creating a 3D classroom for your college to creating a 3D India or a 3D game for you. Okay. And any metaverse app development. For example, now it will have a decentralized called D apps. Okay. Decentralized app that also you can create. And here is a basic thing. Actually, you can become a metaverse research scientist. ecosystem developer, Metaverse hardware builder, because it consists of VR, AR, and XR. Okay, Metaverse cyber security. This is where actually the cyber security and cryptography come together. Metaverse planner, for example, I showed you an example of somebody getting wedding marriage in the metaverse. Then you today actually we have wedding planners. They will help you to organize everything related to your marriage, booking a hall, to finalizing a menu, to going for a pre-wedding photos and all those things, right? If somebody decides to conduct an event on the metaverse, then you can become a planner also. Okay. And jobs also there. Creators are those people who create content for the metaverse. It could be a simple game, or it could be a 3D classroom for your for institution, or it could be an experience of visiting Kedarnath, all those things. Okay, are there any specific questions that you want to ask at this point of time? Okay, Anmol, yes, I can. Yeah. Thank you, Naresh. This is the link. Okay. Okay. And can you tell us buying about stock metaverse for properties? Yes. Okay. I can tell you certainly, because just yesterday I conducted a session on that. Okay. See, metaverse is a virtual world. So whatever that is there in that is called virtual. So although we call real estate in the metaverse, it is virtual. So what it means is, see, once you create a metaverse, you can enter there. So the moment you enter a new world, the first thing that you put your foot or leg is the basic entity that is called land. So now people have started buying lands, creating lands the way other assets are created. So that means you can buy a piece of land, okay, in that one, and you can do that. And I will share you the link of my yesterday's presentation. I did about 40 minutes presentation on how to buy land in the metaverse. I will do that at the end of the session and more. Okay. Okay. So then I will be searching that one. Okay. Okay, there are, okay. Now I have told you the all things about metaverse. I have to talk about also the metaverse challenges. Okay. One of the contrary to what experience is identifying the people in the metaverse is a challenge, and somebody has already mentioned it. See, that means somebody would actually take advantage by creating this kind of various fake avatars. It is going to happen, but then there are measures to avoid this. Okay, some cameras can also do a damaged reputation, because somebody can represent or what we call impersonation of an avatar and create a problem for us. Okay, that is also there. Okay, then so this is my summary. Okay, Metaverse is a new world order. It's a virtual world. Okay, it is a 3D and a spatial, which enables experience. That is the value proposition. You can experience the feeling of touching Taj Mahal, entering Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, or feeling the cold of Mount Everest and other things. It is built on set of technologies and standards, and it makes a good career point for especially people in the IT sector. Okay. So if you have any specific question, you can ask me now regarding metaverse. Then I can also share you certain additional things after that.
Yes, so I think sir has reached the concluding slide.
Okay.
Yeah. If anybody have any questions, please put forward it in the chat box. Uh, so this metaverse, I think students you would take it in this manner, like with the introduction of 5G now, and
Yes.
the technology to add depth to the internet. You can imagine a decade from now, the jobs that are not in existence today, will be there after a decade, because nobody knew 10 or 15 years before this, there are the job opportunities for data scientists, or there will be such a role for AI specific and other stuff. And now we are today in 2022, so probably after a decade or 8 to 10 years down the line, all sort of job opportunities which probably sir was highlighting in his presentation would be there. So everything is evolving, and we are always in a phase of learning something new. And so this would, as many people were saying, this would take tourism and many industry like a storm, because I think now, as we have, all of us have our email ID, which is more or less our identity now, along with our phone number. So who knows, we will also have, each one of us will have an avatar ID, and each one will be using it very easily, very comfortably, from anywhere, any place, any device. And uh, who knows, then email ID would be obsolete and avatar ID would be the next in thing.
Yeah, it's like landline number today.
Yes, yes, just like landline is gone today. So who knows, this would be a reality after some time, and we don't know how close we will reach to it. But of course, this is a very interesting field, and a lot of research works have to be done in this field, right from security to implementation to integration, and lot many various domain integration to make it a reality. So, there is a question by Subrito sir. If
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah.
Before that, actually, I wanted to answer. Okay. So, Anmol, earlier, okay, Anmol has asked, can you know about properties in materials? I have shared you a link because the last week I did a session on this one. Okay. So, do that. And regarding Subrto, how can we start learning about cloud computing? Are Azure and AWS good platforms? Also, we know about Web3 will have a great scope. Given the priority concern, how can we start learning about? Okay. I will answer all these questions. Okay. Well, cloud computing as a mode of computing resources is a great leveler. See, until 2009, the only way that you can have computing is to buy a laptop if you are a personal user, or you have to buy a lot of computers and set up your lab, either you are a company or an entrepreneur. So what cloud computing said was actually, now you don't have to do that. All that you need is access to computers, I mean access to computing, the way actually you access electricity, water, and petrol. So you don't build a dam to get water, right? Somebody will build a dam and you get a water through your taps and all. Similarly, you don't build a power station, you get electricity through your wires and all. Similarly, companies like Google, AWS, and Microsoft Azure said, we will build big data centers from where actually you can access whatever the computing that is you need. Okay. So now, having said this, now we started with the industry, now with companies, and now every individual actually has everything on the cloud computing platform. For example, today the session is actually happening on cloud computing, and this is true of your Google Meet and other things. Okay. So now, if you want to start cloud computing, you can start on any one of that, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud Form. They are all great. But historically, AWS seems to be the leader, okay, followed by Azure and GCP. That's called Google Cloud Computing Platform. All that you have to study is actually in cloud computing. There are some service models like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and all. You can just start there and choose any one of them. There is nothing to choose from them. But if you go by popularity terms, AWS is the leader, Azure is catching up, Google platform is not doing that great. Okay. And the second question is Web3. Yeah. So Web3 is a new platform actually which starts with a decentralization. So the current concern about the internet today is actually the big four companies like Microsoft, Azure, Amazon, Facebook, Google, they are controlling much of the users. That means they dictate what you want to search. They will show the advertisement they want to show you and all. This is happening because what we call centralization. We are all captive users of those systems. So to overcome this, there is an approach called decentralization, which is created by a technology called blockchain. So anything built on blockchain, which is decentralized, will give us another version of the net or the web called Web3. Okay, it has certainly a great scope. Like it is like web, the smartphone in 2007. Okay, or internet in 1990, or web one in 1995, or cloud computing in 2009. It's a beginning, and you should be betting all that you want or your career on that, and it's a priority concern. Okay. And I will be conducting a lot many sessions on that for my students on this platform. I will share you my link. Okay, anytime actually you can join that. And as I told you, if you can subscribe to me by following, you will get all the update all the time. Okay. And okay, the question that Mr. Anmol is asking, sir, because of decentralization, do you think people take unfair advantage of anonymity? Okay, see, it's not like that. Okay, see, today's problem in the world actually, suppose you are, I mean, if somebody hacks Facebook or your banking database, much of the information which is both sensitive and also personal gets hacked. That means somebody will get your name, age, gender, or your bank status, I mean, bank balance status and all. This is too much. Okay. So what decentralization says that we will have identity for you, but it will be digital signature. So from digital signature, people can't make out something on it. But it doesn't mean that nobody will know about you, because if a government or an organization want to figure out who did this transaction, they can figure it out. So the decentralization gives two advantages. Largely, you are unknown in your transactions. That means you are anonymous. The other party will not know who you are. For example, when I want to order something on a Zomato, all that I want to get a food item. I don't want to share my name, my age, my gender, and all. But today it is happening because we connect our Paytm or whatever that is there. So this is avoided by decentralization. So if you are using a decentralized approach and ordering for Zomato, then actually what happens is only your money goes there and you get that one based on your address. But it doesn't tell you who are you, what's your gender, what's your age, all those things. So to that 50% anonymity is needed because you never get your privacy gets connected. But that doesn't mean that organization cannot know it. They will be knowing it. So unknown, the good part of decentralization is a person will remain anonymous. But good part of that also is an organization, if they want, for example, if there is a fraud and all, they can figure it out. So, but largely you remain anonymous because that's an advantage for a privacy perspective. Okay. Okay. Then have I answered your question, Anmol? Okay. Yeah, yeah. See, yes, it is true that people get addicted to metaverse. Okay, and yeah, this is either through control. For example, see, in the recent years, actually now modern day parents actually they have something called screen limit. Okay, screen time. So they don't let kids to watch TV or more than 2 hours a day or like 4 hours a week kind of a thing. So something similar, probably parents or institutions should say, and they can restrict their metaverse existence for a few hours a day or something like that we have to do, and that measures will come from parents and also from the personal discipline of the person and also from society and also from the government. Hope I have answered your question. Okay, Anmol, yes. Okay. Yes, you asked me a question that I think have answered because this is about technology. Okay, technology comes then how people use that, how do you control it, how do you censor it, and these are all social, legal, and technical perspective. Okay. Any other questions? Please go ahead. I have another enough number of time minutes for you. I am also sharing my contact details over here. Okay.
If anyone have any questions, please do enter in the chat box.
Yeah, yeah. That would be great. So I'm very happy to answer any of your questions because uh, I think you are all nice students. I think I have answered all the questions because I've gone through whole of this one. Okay. No, no. Will there be anything sort of a death in the metaverse? Yes. Okay. See, like you have a lifetime. Okay. There are two approaches for the metaverse. Okay. Now that metaverse is virtual, can we capture some real thing in the virtual and make it all the time virtual? For example, you probably heard a person's name called Elon Musk. Okay. He has a company which actually producing what we call BCI. That means brain computer interface. That means whatever that you think of can be captured by a computer and it can be put into the metaverse or the virtual world. Okay. The idea for him is actually the people write autobiographies from their memories. Now, if I can connect your mind directly, and every thought, every impulse, and every idea that you get actually is captured by that and put it into a hard disk kind of a thing. And essentially, I can download your brain. Okay, that is the idea proposed by Tesla's Elon Musk. Let us see that one. So then, in that case, actually, you become what we call Amar. That means you are eternally there in the metaverse. And the beauty of that is actually, as I told you, 100 years from now, somebody can see you active because the one of the properties of the metaverse is actually is called persistent. Okay, I can tell you like this. Look here. See now, one of the idea of the metaverse is actually is called persistence. What it actually means is this. Okay, suppose, suppose I am conduct this meeting today on Creator Club. At the end of the session, no, nothing remains except the record of that. Okay, but suppose I were to conduct this meeting in metaverse, this would be available forever. That means 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, one of you can actually bring your kid or your life partner and show that I attended one session on this metaverse by Ravindra Dastikop sir, and this is you can see. You can see everything that happened in the meeting because in the metaverse everything is persistent. Okay. 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 I think I answered your question. Okay. Then will there be anything death in the verse? Yes. 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 Okay. Uh, Suhasini, okay, what do you mean by this? I like your name very much, sir. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, from Prerana, yes, yes. Elon Musk says that actually BCI, I told you, I showed you a haptic gloves, no, which will help a doctor to touch and feel and when the temperature of a patient and all. Similarly, according to Elon Musk, he has a company which is developing that BCI, okay, that's called brain computer interface, which will capture everything that is there. Okay. Thailand, like, see, that's exactly, so Prerana, look at this. That is exactly what happens in albums today. No, if you go to when your relatives and all, they show the albums of their marriages or birthday parties. What has actually happened? You go back in time and see them. Now you can also go back in and see them in videos also. But tomorrow, if you can go back in metaverse, then actually you can feel that. For example, I told you, look at this. Okay. Okay, look at this. These people have got their marriage done in metaverse, right? Say, assume that after 5 years they will have a kid, and after 10 years he will become bigger, and they can actually bring that kid to this metaverse and show that what happened in that marriage, because this metaverse, which in which they got married, is persistent. It is like album, it is like video, but it's a 3D video, in which you can enter it over a period of time. Today, what happens, when you see a video and a photograph, we are still outside. We are not part of the event. But in the metaverse, they can come. 10 years down the line, they can come and show their kids that this is how actually what happened in the marriage. And 35 years this, they can also bring their grandchildren and show that. Okay. Okay. Uh, yes, that is the beauty and power of technology. Okay. Okay. Anything? Yeah, I'm available for the next 5-10 minutes. But I
Okay.
still didn't get the Suhasini thing. I like your name very much. What does it mean? I don't get it.
Sir, actually, they are creating some nonsense stuff out
No.
there.
No,
So
I
that's what,
thought it.
because I don't have that control to remove this three people
No problem,
from
ma'am. Actually, I can
the.
tolerate it. Okay.
Yeah, so if you could please remove them.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't know because I'm also new to this platform. I was searching, but I couldn't get it.
No, it just what has actually happened is they have passed on that link to somebody. Also, this is a private session. Okay. So this is not open for others than your students. And the reason that was made private because we didn't want other people to join. But still, then they have done that. It's all right.
No, sir. I don't know how this link got passed to some other students. I have to check this. because
No,
it was
no.
circulated in a.
Sangeeta, no, this actually happens. See, I'm a placement officer here. No, when I send a registration, registration form on Google, okay, what happens is actually one of my students will send it to his friend in another college, thinking that
Okay.
I will not come to know about that. So he will fill the Google form, but he is not my student at all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So I think we are reaching to the end of this session.
okay, okay. Okay.
I'll request the coordinators to please. Uh,
She'll
yeah,
share the
he
form.
has
Yes.
posted the feedback form. So all of you, please fill in the feedback form, and I like to present here the vote of thanks to sir. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and taking us through this journey of metaverse and making our student aware of this technology and where is the world evolving and how is the technological space improving day by day. I'm sure my students of AIDS department and Vivekanand college from other department, those who have joined, they would have loved this session. They would have got insight on metaverse, and they would have also liked this new platform which we introduce this to them, which is Cater Club. And we hope to look forward for such wonderful session from your side, sir, for the other platform and the other blockchains and technologies like cloud and stuff like that. So I'd like to thank you on behalf of Vivekanand Education Society's Institute of Technologies and Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science and our AI club and all the students present here. Uh, 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 Thanks, sir, for taking time and sharing your expertise and domain knowledge with us.
Thank you. And actually, every student can check their learning earnings they have done. They can go see this slide, go to the top of your screen and press learn and earn. Probably you see some earnings that have happened today. Okay.
Yeah. So those who have filled the feedback form, make sure you fill the feedback form and then only you leave the
Yeah.
session.
Yeah. So I also request on behalf of a professor,
Yeah.
kindly fill the form and
Uh,
then move on.
yeah. Thank you, sir. So good feedback for this. So
Okay. Thank you. How I think I have met your expectations, professor.
yes, yeah, definitely,
Uh-huh.
definitely, sir, definitely. What we wanted to share with our students related to metaverse, you have said, sir. So thank you so much.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll just wait for some time. We'll just wait for another 2-3 minutes to see if
Uh-huh.
there are any questions or any requests coming up.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Others, those who have filled the feedback form, they can leave the session. And thank you for joining in, all the students here.
You can share your learn tokens. How much did you earn? I will share mine actually. I have earned 24 tokens today. I have I have earned 24 tokens, learn tokens. Today's earning. You can also share that one.
For me, sir, you are saying?
You can also, I mean, you can click on
For
this
me,
one.
it's still showing 0, 0. I don't know why.
Okay, I will just check.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So some people say Alok has earned 12 tokens, Subarto 8. I mean,
Yeah.
today and 9. Okay. I mean, I will check yours, madam. I think I
Yes,
have to
yes,
figure it out.
yes.
And you got the platform now, madam. Actually, this will keep students engaged and also participating and also get involved. And you can also see that people who ask questions are getting little more rewards today. And
Yes.
in my college, actually, I'm planning to use it as an attendance thing also. Like, um,
Yeah, great,
uh,
great. It's a great platform, sir, and
uh,
interactive one to have
hmm,
such sessions over it, and great way to motivate students by earning tokens
hmm,
and stuff like that. And also they can follow,
yeah.
and they can. And the beauty of this session, I think, is I found mostly technological related stuff in
Yes, yes.
Cater Club,
Yeah,
and some support for auctions also.
yeah. Yeah.
Do need to check that, but wonderful platform. I enjoyed interaction on this platform with you.
Somebody was asking like, how can they start on this actually? Well, who was he actually earlier on this?
Yeah, there was an option there that if you want
Okay,
to be a streamer, so
okay, okay.
I think you can click over that and
Okay, so you can also, whatever the knowledge, for example, see, knowledge could be in bits and pieces also. Maybe your experience about a project and all, that also you can share. So for that, actually, on the top of this, there's something called become a streamer. So anybody can do that. There is no restriction. Okay.
Yes, yes. And sir, is it something like if I record and keep it and students can view it at any given point of time whenever they want?
Yeah. So that will be, for example, today's session will be, I mean, the record will be available after half an hour. I can share that also to you.
Okay, but when I'm taking it, I need the participants to be live in for that forum. So, for example, I want to take one session on
Uh,
some topic.
okay.
So, is it that I can publish it on my channel like YouTube and wherever?
So see, normally what I do, actually, I will conduct a session here. The video will be available. Then I can like download and publish it on YouTube.
No, 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 sir. I'm
Huh?
saying ki, on Cater Club, if I'm
Huh?
preparing a video
Huh?
and I'm hosting it at say sometime, say I'm hosting it at 8 or 9 o'clock, and at
Okay.
that time students can't be live.
Okay.
So I have hosted it
Okay.
myself and I have
Okay.
made available.
Okay.
And now student can view it at any given instant of time. Is that facility given here also, or
I will
it's
just check because so far what I've done is live to be
live?
accessed later, but I
Okay, okay.
now you want a recorded to be accessed later, right?
Yeah,
I will
got
just
it.
try. I will figure it out. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You kindly share with other students also and faculty, madam. This is a good platform, and I will be
Yes, yes.
conducting every day sessions. Okay. And
Yes, sir,
thank you very
definitely.
much for giving me that title, "Realistic Virtual World," because that gave me a chance to select that video.
Yeah, because I was thinking what title to give after Metaverse. So I thought
Okay.
um, let's give it a realistic virtual world only because it's virtual, but we want it to be
Okay.
in a realistic.
Subrato 20, Alok 12, great, Rashmit 8, Hirab 4, Satyam 4 tokens, and this also shows you the involvement in the class also. This is a kind of not only an attendance but also the participation in that. Naresh, okay, and Andy earned 10, great, okay, yeah,
Okay, sir. So I think we can end the session now at this
oh,
point.
okay, bye, thanks
And
all,
okay,
okay.
so bye bye. And sir, I'll connect with you later to discuss this with you,
Perfect,
attendance sheet and all that.
perfect. I think
If
I
you
already
can,
spoke to the people, tech people. They said by Monday they will get that. I will
yes, sir,
share.
yes,
Okay.
that would be really
Bye.
helpful for me.
Bye.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
So thank you, students, those who are
Yeah.
there still live. Thank you.